In what way is she causing you distress?
Because she can't acknowledge what she has done to me. I mean, one time the child was run over.
What has she done to you?
One time the others was run over. And she promised me, while I was away training assistant at the hospital, that anything happened to them, she'd let me know.
Uh-huh.
I found out by a bad friend. And if you don't come out with me, I will tell you something horrible about your children. And I found out she'd been run over 3 weeks beforehand. And he was unconscious. So when I rang her at 1:30 in the morning to ask her if it was true, she said, "How dare you ring me at this time?" She'd always promised that she'd look after them. From a back view. And she knew, and she was visiting every day. She went to another hospital, and she was going over to another hospital in another town looking after him at night. She never let me know.
Have there been other instances?
Now, all she can say is, "Well, you're not my mother." But I am.
She can say that as much as she likes. That doesn't change what is the facts that you are.
I asked her, I broke her up just prior to ringing you up. I asked her, who gave birth to your son? And she said, "You know who did." I said, "Okay, yeah." And I asked her, who gave birth to my son? And she said, "You know." I said, "Yeah, I did." I said, "Therefore, why did you do this cruel thing to me? I looked after your son."
What cruel thing has she done?
I don't want you to know. I found out that my son...
How long ago was that?
How long ago was what?
When your son was knocked down and your mother didn't tell you.
Oh, 76.
76. We're now in 87.
I've only just found out about all this.
You have only just found out.
No, not that one. This is another one that's come up. My son, the other son, has been going to a specialist all this time for his knees. And he comes up here nearly every Sunday and he's never told me.
So your son's never told you?
No.
Why is that your mother's fault?
Because she told me to keep quiet. She's trying to block the distance, I think.
She's trying to what?
Block them away from me. Because she's lost her son. She doesn't want me to have mine, I don't think.
How much do you want to have your son?
Sons.
Sons.
Very much.
As much as you wanted to be a nurse?
Well, that's why I took up nursing, because everywhere I went to drag me away from him.
Who dragged you away from him?
My mother and my brother.
How did they drag you away from him?
Literally.
How?
Forcibly.
What caused that?
Because he was beating me.
It was your son that was beating you?
No, the husband.
I'm sorry. So...
The children were only young then.
Yes. The question I asked you was, do you want your sons? Because you appear to have been prepared to be without your sons in order to get your nursing qualification.
And then get them back and give them a stable home.
How long have they been away from you?
Oh. Well, I was in contact with them an awful lot.
I'm sorry?
I was in contact with them an awful lot, but...
Yeah, I asked you when they were away from you. When was that?
74.
74? So in 13 years ago, you started to get a nursing qualification.
Yes.
It doesn't take 13 years.
No, I know.
So when did you get your qualification?
Well, I got my citizenship in 81.
In 81?
Yes.
Doesn't even take 7 years. When did you start your training?
74.
In 74?
Yeah.
Why did it take till 81?
Because I had to go back because I'd been sent to the hospital.
Okay, so you went back. But it does mean that you're without your children for 7 years in order to get a qualification that would help you be together.
Well, he kept taking them to Margate or somewhere.
To where?
Margate.
Well, that really doesn't matter, does it? You see, you're saying that I wanted my children so badly that I went to get a qualification. You took 7 years out of their lives to get a qualification so that they could be with you.
Yeah.
Well, the average child is only with its parents about 18 years. So to take 7 of those years...
I was in contact with them.
Yes, but you weren't living with them. You weren't bringing them up. Do you not think it is inevitable, it's bound to happen, that your children will in some way pull away from you if you're not living with them?
Excuse me.
It's okay.
You were saying because I've been away so long that they've drawn away from me, and because when I found out last night about my younger son, and the father's remarried, and I got last night to ask how he was, and to have a word with him, and she said, sorry, he's asleep in bed. She said, his knee's gone bad again. I said, what's wrong with his knee? Is it? Has he been riding on a motorbike again? And she said, no, it's a recurring one. She said, we took it to the specialist, there's nothing to do about it. She said, no, what our David's like. Oh, it's not really David, it's not David.
Well, the term "our David" doesn't mean anything, does it? I refer to the man that answered the telephone to you as our Rod, but we're not related. It doesn't mean anything, it just means Rod, really. The term "our" something means nout up north. So she may well not have been implying that it was her David rather than your David.
Do you think so?
I think it's possible. As I say, I refer to Rod very often as our Rod. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean I know him anything other than I work with him. He's my mate, my colleague. It's just a terminology. It isn't a statement of ownership, possession, what have you.
Well, why can't my mother accept that she had something in a way to do with it? Like,
Can I ask you a question? Because I can't answer questions about your mum because I don't know her. But can I ask you the same question? Why don't you accept it?
I don't know. It's very hard.
I appreciate it's very hard. But what you're saying to me, Margot, is that your mum should be able to accept it, even though you can't. Why should she? She may well be having the same problem accepting it that you're having.
She can't accept that her son died.
But
No,
you
she-
can't accept that your sons are no longer with you.
She tends to be taking it out on me now.
And who are you taking it out on?
She's taking it out on me now.
Who are you taking it out on?
Oh, myself.
Quite. So, if you want to make any progress at all, it's going to be harder to control what your mum does than it is to control what you do, isn't it?
But
I say, it's going to be harder to control what your mum does than it is to control what you do, isn't it?
Yes.
And given that both your mum and you are failing to accept certain things, different things, but certain things nonetheless, wouldn't it be easier for you to concentrate on accepting your lot as it is, rather than spending time worrying about whether your mother accepts her lot or not?
Does she worry about her as well? Because she can't.
Well, yes, I know you worry, and I know that it's right that you worry. But sometimes in life, we have to be selfish. We have to say, to blazes with it, I'll worry about me first. Because your mother, quite possibly, nay, I'll even say probably, needs help from various people.
I think she does, because she said that she'd heard an awful lot of things about the brother.
Margot, your mum...
She doesn't want to hear them.
Your mum needs help. But because you've not accepted your situation, you're in no position to give her that help. Now, you can worry about her, but you can't do anything about it. You can worry about yourself. You can worry about your own situation. But with a lot of willpower, a lot of energy, and a lot of concentration, you can actually do something about your situation. Now, is it better to fail yourself worrying about your mum, or to come to terms with your own situation, and who knows, in a year's time, 2 years, 3 years, you may actually be strong enough to help that mum that you're worried about? But you have to help yourself first.
I've tried to do all at once.
Well, you're failing doing it all at once. So what's the point of carrying on, trying to do it all at once? Have you ever seen one of those stone bridges? One of those round-backed stone bridges?
Yes.
Have you ever wondered how the stone in the middle stays up?
It's strong.
Pardon?
It's strong.
No, it's not because it's strong. It's because all the other ones hold it up. But you have to put the other ones in first. Because if you put the keystone, as it's called, that's the triangular shaped one at the top. If you put that there any other time than last, it falls down again.
That's right. Yeah.
So you have to build the bridge from the bottom. Now, if you're going to build a bridge between you and your mum, and indeed you and your children, you're going to have to start off at the very bottom. You're going to have to start off with you. It's no good getting somebody that's weak and tired and worn out to build that bridge, because they'll fail, especially if they start in the wrong place. So what you've got to do is build your own bridge. Build it from you. And for that, you must first of all come to terms with your situation. Whatever it is, how horrendous it is, doesn't matter. You've got to say, well, that's how it is, and that's how I've got to deal with it. Can you do that?
Oh, I don't know if I'm strong enough.
Can I tell you something?
Yes, please.
If you're not strong enough, you'll fail. You'll fail the lot. And you'll die unhappy. Given a choice, would you prefer to die happy or unhappy?
Happy.
Fine. Are you prepared to work for that?
I've been trying.
Are you prepared to work for that?
I have been trying.
Just answer the question.
Yes.
I'm going to bully you, like
Yes.
everybody else has. I'm going to bully you as well.
Yes.
You are prepared to work.
Yes, but everything seems to come round the corner.
If I
went to classes
listen,
to get self-assertive.
listen to me. Never mind your classes; they never work. If somebody threw you £1,000 in pennies, how much do you think you'd catch?
Me, no.
Quite. But if you really concentrated, if you really worked at it, when somebody threw you £1,000 in pennies, you could probably walk away with a fiver. What you're trying to do, to stretch this analogy beyond its limits, but what you're trying to do is to catch the whole £1,000. And because you try to catch them all, you catch none.
I want to try. She's going through hell, I think.
Let her go through it, because you are as well. You're not going to stop her going through hell. You can't. You're not strong enough. But you can, if you work at it, if you're determined, if you never take 1 millistep back, you might, and only might, make it for yourself. And if you do make it for yourself, you might then be strong enough to help your mum. But if you don't, you both go under.
Yes.
So it isn't about assertive. It isn't about strutting your stuff and asserting yourself.
No, it's getting the confidence back after being so ill.
It's not even getting your confidence back. It's just coming to terms with who you are. You're Margot. Nobody else. You. Your only responsibility is to you.
It's hard, though, Alan.
Of course it's hard. It's hard for everybody. It's even harder for you. But you don't actually have a choice. Everyone's been telling you how much choice you've got. You haven't got any. You don't have a choice. You live or you die. That's all there is. There's an out in the middle.
Yes, well, I was supposed to die at 85, but I'm still living.
Well, you're still with us. So you've been given this extra time. What are you going to do with it? Waste it?
No, that's why I've been wanting to ring you up for ages.
Well, now you have done. And I'm glad you have done. Because from this phone call, from this one phone call, after all those courses, all those lectures, and all that other nonsense, you got nowhere. After this phone call, Margot, you are going to come to terms with who you are and what you are. You are one individual who has suffered at the hands of her husband, has for the time being not got care of her children. You have a mother that you cannot come to terms with. You have a brother who committed suicide. And even that doesn't take away that you're still Margot. You're still as important as anybody else on this planet.
So I'm still myself.
Pardon?
I am still myself.
You are
I'm
still
a person.
you. Of course you are. You are still you.
No matter what comes at me from any angle,
You can stand there and you can take it.
and not reduce myself to tears like I'm doing now.
It doesn't matter whether you cry. Who cares whether you cry or not? No one's suggesting to you you're going to laugh for the rest of your life. You're not going to. Doesn't matter. Tears mean nothing. Tears are just a mechanical process that happens. They're good for you.
It's very hard cry.
It doesn't matter. Who cares? Why should it matter? So you cry. Big deal. Doesn't matter. It's not important.
I just bottle it up and then all of a sudden it just comes out when I take a Valium.
Well, don't worry about it. Try to relax. Try to breathe deeply. Not sigh. Not now. Try to spend your life. When something comes, don't deal with it. Don't react to it. Don't say, I'm going to deal with this now. Sit back and say, so what? Really doesn't matter. I'm still me.
You've got a point there.
I'm still actually the only person in the world that matters. Remember that bridge. You can't do anything until the stones at the base are right.
Yeah, but you need stones from both sides, don't you?
Yes, you do. You do need stones from both sides. But you've got to start somewhere. And if you don't start, you don't go no place.
I'll do it.
I know you will.
Thank you.
It was a dubious pleasure, but if it's worked, it was a real pleasure.
Thank you very much.
It has worked. It's going to work tomorrow.
It's going to work.
So your response to all the trials and tribulations are, never mind, pick yourself up, start again.
Yes, thank you very much, Alan.
Don't thank me, thank you for ringing me.
Thank you.
Good night, love.
Night.
You'll do it.
I'll find out.
Good night.
Night.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
If you want to join us on the phone in, the telephone number is Preston 56 1000.
Thinking of changing your hi-fi? Call into Lang Video Audio at Crumpton Street, Wigan and Nesley Street, Bolton, the North's leading part exchange hi-fi specialists. Ring Wigan 323-897 for details now.
They come from Preston,
London, Buxton,
Manchester,
Derby, Carlisle,
and all over the motorised world
for a car from
International Ford. So get your cars new and used on Route A6. International Ford.
just what you need. What's that?
It's a new one-stop discount shop now open in Preston.
Oh, yeah. And just what do I need?
Household goods, day-to-day things and that sort of stuff.
But what about the prices?
Just how you like. Low.
How low?
Very low. Just what you need at the top of Fishergate, next to the cinema Preston, and also at Cleveley's.
Today in the studio we have a representative from Macmillan Cars.
It's grand to welcome on the Sassenachs at Macmillan's, then who?
Quite.
And you'll never find a better motor car than an Audi.
Audi motor cars.
And Volkswagen, noch die macht die again.
And you're saying that Macmillans are the best people in the area for Audi and Volkswagen?
You need listen, lassie. Get yourself doing there, they're grand cars.
Well, there you have the voice of the expert. Macmillan's, Blackburn Road, Bolton, telephone 31464. They speak your sort of language.
Hey, lang Miguel Amric.
Howdy, Tony.
Hey, hello.
Yes?
Right, I want to talk to you, right, about the way the civilian population treat the army. You know, 'cause I'm in the army, like, and we don't get treated very well, you know, in garrison towns, like.
That's understandable.
Why is that?
Because the locals don't generally like those people who come into their area en bloc, wherever they are.
Oh, yeah, all right, that's right, but I'll put like an idea to you, right? Why, when the Falklands War was on, with thousands of people at the docks, you know, waving flags and that, and they're the same kind of people.
Absolutely. The reason is that they were happy to have your services, but not your presence.
That's what I mean, but you gotta live somewhere, haven't you?
Yes, indeed you have, but you also have to live with the fact that soldiers are not generally welcome in large numbers in any town.
But why?
Well, because they merely create a hassle. I don't mean trouble, I just mean a hassle. The young men of the town don't like the idea of these smartly dressed young men with quite a few bob in their pocket coming and taking all the girls away for a start.
But, it's not like that, you know what I mean?
Of course
you go out
it's
for a
not
quiet
that.
bevy, right? You can't even get in clubs in certain places.
Of course you can't. You have to come to terms with the fact that when you accept the Queen's shilling, as they say, you become a different creature in the eyes of other people. And that different creature is someone that they want to die for them, but they don't want to live next door to them.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's the way it is. If you can't live with it, as the good Sergeant Major says, if you can't take a joke, you shouldn't have joined up.
Oh, I can take jokes.
Well, that's how
Good
it
jokes,
is.
you know.
That is how life is. When you're a soldier, will you tell your half-brained pillock friend to shut his gob?
Right, hang on. He said shut your mouth. Right, I've
Is
just
he a
told him.
soldier also? Is he a soldier also?
No, he's a civilian.
Then it would appear that one civilian wants to put up with you. I do appreciate that he's a very low-quality civilian. How do Carol?
Hello.
Hello?
It's in reference to the call you had from Margot. I thought you were very nice with her and very kind and very understanding. But can I just say one thing?
Say whatever you like.
Oh, you're going to hate me for this.
I always hate people.
I've got a mother, a bit like Margot, who went away with the best intentions and forgot about me for 14 years and then couldn't understand why we didn't fall all over her, weeping with joy and say, oh, great, Mum, thanks for remembering us. I mean, I know it's hard if you've got a husband who beats you and you want to get away from it, but there have been quite a few women in that situation who've taken their children with them, who've managed to get a job and have a good relationship with their children. I know that she says she has cancer. You know, I mean, it was the same situation.
Carol, can I ask you something?
Once my mother knew that something was happening,
can I ask you something?
She wanted her children.
Carol, please tell me, what is the purpose of this conversation?
Just that you were so kind.
Well, that doesn't matter. Tell me what the purpose was. If you think I'm not aware of the status quo in that situation, I am. But what's the point of shoving it up her nose? Is that going to help anybody? Anybody at all? The kids,
maybe,
Margot, anybody?
But maybe if somebody was honest with her...
I've been honest with her. What I actually said to her was there's only you that can resolve the problem. It's got to be from you. You've got to, and I quote the phrase, come to terms with your situation. I didn't say your kids should fall over you. I didn't say your mother should fall over you. I said you've got to come to terms with your situation. And I don't think this phone call is going to assist her in that objective one dot. And if you think, well, fine, tough on her, I understand that point of view. But it's not going to affect anybody.
I think it's very, very sad.
So what is this call going to contribute?
Well, what did you contribute?
Nothing. Absolutely
nothing. Just let her wallow in yet more self-pity.
Absolutely nothing I contributed. But I'll tell you for something. A kick in the ghoulies never helped anybody. Good night.
I don't know.
How do Maria?
Maria?
Yes?
Yes, I'm Maria.
What do you want?
I would just like to... You answer me, right, Allan Beswick, you're a man, right?
There are those that would argue with that, but go on.
Yeah. Why do men come out with so much bullshit?
Because we're full of it.
Can I say that word?
You've said it.
Right.
We're full of it.
Why?
Because most men, and I've got to include myself, I suppose, are immature, pretentious, jumped-up nerds.
Oh, this is true.
I know it's true. Well, that's why they come out with all this bullshit, because they've got to attempt to impress people.
Yes, but why?
Because
why tell lies?
Because they're inadequates.
Was this why?
Hmm.
They are inadequate.
Yes, most men.
Yeah.
Probably me also.
I can't understand how a grown man of, say, 35, 40, right, can tell so many lies.
It's easy done.
Why?
I don't know why, other than because they're so...
Excuse me, Allan Beswick. How old are you?
38.
Are you 38?
No.
Going on 38.
I am 38. I wondered, you asked me how old I was, I told you, then asked me if I was that old. It seemed to me to be a pointless question.
You are 38.
I know I am.
Do you tell lies?
I think we all tell lies of one sort or another.
Do you tell lies to women?
It depends on what you mean by lies.
Or are you
if
married?
A woman says to me,
Excuse me,
if a woman
Allan.
says to me, am I pretty, I'm hardly likely to say, no, you're an ugly old cow.
Right. Are you married?
Yes.
Well, supposing you had a young lady on the side.
On the side of what?
On the side of your marriage.
Yes.
Right. I'm not saying you have. But
I'm not interested in what you're saying.
Right. You're a married man.
Mm.
Right. Supposing you are having a bit on the side. Right. Would you tell the bit on the side so many lies?
What lies?
Well, that you are going to leave your wife. That you can't live.
Do you think I can honestly answer that question and convince you of the answer?
I don't know.
Well, that's the problem. Well, no. And the reason I'll say no is because whatever answer I give, I'm on a bummer.
Why?
Because you cannot check whether I'm telling the truth.
No, but we can also go off what you say because Allan
Well, you
Beswick.
can't, because
Allan Beswick is so good.
Well, I don't know where you've got that idea from.
Well, because we all listen to you.
Well, that doesn't mean I'm
And
good.
we all go off what you say.
That doesn't mean I'm good. That simply implies that I'm entertaining, or the programme is at least.
Well, I know. I believe you. Right? So, if you're a married man, right, and you've got your mistress on the side.
Well, you've first of all got to establish whether that is the case.
Yeah, we'll take it as it
Well,
is
we
the
can't
case.
just take it that it is the case, because that may or may not be untrue.
Well, right. Okay, you can take it as true.
But I can't take it as true.
Why?
Because that would be dishonest if it were not true.
Well,
and if
okay.
everybody knows it is only an assumption, then we're in the business of games, and one cannot give a definition of a true answer in a game.
But all men play games.
Indeed they do, but there's a
Yeah.
woman playing games at this moment.
Well, I don't know. Women
Whether
basically...
you know or not, well, women basically, hoey-toey, you at the moment are playing a game.
I'm not. I'm
You are.
not.
You're saying, let's pretend.
Yes.
That's
but
a
I'm
game.
also saying that women basically...
Let's pretend is a game.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
prepared to listen to you talking about women, or even about men. But when you say to me, let's pretend, and then you ask me to give you...
No, I didn't say let's pretend. I say, for instance.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
Yeah.
the jargon means the same.
Yes, yeah. But, I mean, men have so many... Right, they love to play make-believe.
Well, this one is refusing to.
Why?
Because why should I do what every other man, you tell me, likes doing?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Please listen to my ditty. It may not be very witty, nor even slightly funny, but it will help save you money. For me, from cradle to grave, I aim to shop and save. I buy out I need, for next to nought indeed. There's meat and veg and cheese and pigs and booze and clothes and cards and sweets and pigs and pet food and household things. So shop and save a load down Blackpool's Waterloo Road. In the market they call new, and over road the M2. Thank you.
Poetry in prices from the New Market and M2 Market.
It's the place to come where shopping can be fun. The Newmarket Waterloo Road.
It's back to school with Slaters for massive stocks of school uniforms at low, low prices. Why pay through the nose when Slaters stock the lot? Fully lined washable blazers from $11.99, school shirts from $2.99, trousers and skirts from $4.99, and ties and socks from 69 pence. More choice and lowest prices at Slaters. Branches at Preston, Wigan, Ashton in Makerfield, Lee, Bolton, St Helens and Warrington. Make sure your child goes back to school with Slaters.
Lowther Park, a unique blend of history, natural beauty and family entertainment. Over 35 attractions for just one price. Lowther Park, only 6 miles from Penrith off junction 39 or 40 M6. Lowther Park, a great family day out in the Lake District. Park open every day.
Hello, Sharon.
Hello, Alan.
Hello.
Well, I'd just like to phone and say I totally disagree with your last two ringers. I just think they're talking through I don't know where they're talking through, but they're talking bullshit. I know that much.
What
I think you did fine with the other lady.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, thank you for that. All right.
Yeah.
Good night. How do Gareth?
All right, Alan. I'd like to talk about the difference between vegetarianism and vegan, right? And I'd like to point out that anybody who's a vegetarian, okay, they've got good morals, and I agree with them. And I'm sure a lot of people like that have been vegetarians, have turned vegans, and they realise the hypocrisy in it. And I'd just like really to make people aware that if you are a vegetarian and you are new to it, that really you are being hypocritical. I don't know if anybody's aware with that, I'm sure some people are. And that by drinking milk, you are supporting the slaughter of the cow, which is taken away from its mother very early at birth.
Indeed. What does it matter?
What does it matter?
As someone, and I've been shouted at for this more than once, as someone who is almost vegetarian, but not for any moralistic grounds, I don't think anything wrong with eating dead animals, whatever they're for, if it's not to eat. I'm not suggesting that I'm a vegetarian out of any moralistic point, but others may be vegetarians out of non-moralistic points. They may well be vegetarians, A, because they don't like meat, B, because they think meat's poisonous, C, because they think meat contains all kinds of cholesterol, it's going to give them a heart attack. There could be many, many reasons.
Yeah, okay. Those people do it for health reasons, and they've thought about it. As long as they know the facts, and I'd say that's okay. I don't agree with
Well, they
them.
may well not know the facts.
Okay, well,
there's no responsibility on the community at large to know all the facts of every argument.
I think everybody should know the facts. And from a programme like this, I think it's good to, widen views about
Well, the arguments that you've put, or the one argument you've put, I've put myself many times. I've even written articles on it.
Come on. Come in. Step into Story Carpets.
Step into the big summer sale at Stories, Britain's biggest independent carpet retailer. You'll find massive reductions throughout the store, like the luxurious Autumn Glory carved Saxony broadloom carpet, reduced from £12.99 to just £6.49 a square yard. That's a fabulous half-price saving. Save over £4 a square yard on quality Wilton Royal Runnymede. An 80% wool pile carpet, now only £10.99 a square yard, fitted free. And save up to £7 on rugs. We're offering free underlay and free fitting on over 1,000 quality carpets. And with some designs reduced to just £1.75 a square yard, you won't find better value anywhere. If after buying from Stories you find the same carpet on sale at a lower all-in price, we'll refund double the difference. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it at Stories. So step into the big summer sale this week at Cherry Tree Road, Marton, Blackpool, Darwin Street, Blackburn, and Common Garden Street, Lancaster.
Come on.
Come in.
Step into Story Carpets.
Just what you need. What's that?
It's a new one-stop discount shop now open in Preston.
Oh, yeah. And just what do I need?
Household goods, day-to-day things and that sort of stuff.
But what about the prices?
Just how you like. Low.
How low?
Very low. Just what you need at the top of Fishergate, next to the cinema Preston, and also at Cleveley's.
Looking for somewhere new to visit? Then why not come to Lancaster? The new Maritime Museum on St George's Quay offers you something different. A Morecambe fisherman's kitchen, a canal packet boat, a custom house and warehouse that were built when America was still a British colony. Super slideshows, cafeteria and shops open every day. Also, do not forget to visit the Ashton Memorial, the grandest monument in England. Phone Lancaster 64637 now for details. Bring the family to Gisburn's massive open-air market this Sunday. There's hundreds of stalls packed with bargains and free car parking too. At Gisburn's bumper open-air market, the Cattle Market Gisburn, this Sunday from 9 till 5.
Apollo, Lancashire's leading gas and electrical discount store's crazy summer sale. Buy now at sale prices, pay next year. Fridges from £79, microwaves from £99, auto washers from £189. Many more crazy bargains. Buy now at sale prices, pay next year. Written details on request. Apollo Preston, Apollo Blackpool, Apollo Price Power.
Hello, John.
Good morning, Mr. Beswick.
Hi.
I'd like to talk to you about cricket. Due to England's recent failings, I believe that we ought to bring in a new county championship. For example, the present system is basically based on a 3-day game. I believe the 4-day game would be much more beneficial to the batsmen's techniques and get them ready for test matches.
Well, they're talking about it already, aren't they?
Yes, but I believe it ought to be introduced, and the way we'd be able to schedule that would be to remove the early rounds.
Schedule. I don't think it's fair to use an American word when talking about cricket. We don't play it very well. So, schedule.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Beswick.
It's all right.
How they managed the fixtures would be to lessen the Benson Hedges, because at the moment in the Benson Hedges Cup, they have a round-robin first stage system. If they were to get rid of this and put it into a simply knockout scheme, they'd create enough time to bring in the 4-day game. Which sure, and also with
I don't think the major problem with 4-day games is scheduling it. I think part of the problem is whether people will watch it or not, and that's quite important, and a lot of people won't. That was why the longer county games were actually reduced.
Well, the thing is, you see, that I watch a lot of county cricket, and one of the things I notice around the ground...
You'll be aware then that it's not particularly well populated.
Oh, no, it isn't very well supported, but I believe that the people there go there for the whole match, some of them.
Some of them do,
Yeah,
but a large proportion of them don't. And what you also are aware, if you've watched a lot of cricket, is that when the game is one day, there's an awful lot more there.
Oh, I know, but this would only entail a few fixtures being taken off. If you know what I mean.
I'm not suggesting that it would entail any, and I'm not interested at all whether it would take any off. What is important is what the public wants. Yes, they do want a test side that wins, but when they go to cricket, they want to watch a game that they consider to be interesting. And in the past, they have not considered the longer game to be interesting, and indeed that is still the case. They've been fed a diet of one-day cricket, a result every day, and they've come to terms with that, and they now think that is the best cricket there is. I disagree with them. I'm sure you do too. But the cricket, which is only an entertainment when all's said and done, wants bums on seats, and to get that, it's got to give them what they want.
I see what you mean.
Good. How do Janice?
Hello, Alan.
Hello.
I'd like to settle something for me, if you can. Can a divorced man's second wife class herself as a stepmother to 8 children when the real mother is alive?
Yes, I suppose so, is the answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we had a funeral this year. The mother wasn't able to attend, and the priest was saying, "Who are you?" and and she said, "I am the bereaved stepmother," and my mother was really mad about it.
Well, yes, I can understand people getting distressed at that, but it's only a term of reference, and it covers that situation. If you say to somebody the stepmother, they will know exactly who you mean.
But she'd right to pass herself off as that.
She's not passing herself off as anything. It is a perfectly adequate description of what she is to those children.
Oh, we thought it was a point of law, you said.
Don't think so.
All right.
All right, love. Thanks for your call.
much.
Good night. Indeed, thank you all for your calls. It's time for me to go.
They come from Preston,
London, Buxton,
Manchester,
Derby, Carlisle,
and all over the motorised world
for a car from
International Ford. So get your cars new and used on Route A6. International Ford.
Come on.
Come in. Step into Story Carpets.
Step into the big summer sale at Stories, Britain's biggest independent carpet retailer. You'll find massive reductions throughout the store, like the luxurious Autumn Glory carved Saxony broadloom carpet, reduced from £12.99 to just £6.49 a square yard. That's a fabulous half-price saving. Save over £4 a square yard on quality Wilton Royal Runnymede, an 80% wool pile carpet, now only £10.99 a square yard, fitted free. And save up to £7 on rugs. We're offering free underlay and free fitting on over 1,000 quality carpets. And with some designs reduced to just £1.75 a square yard, you won't find better value anywhere. If after buying from Stories you find the same carpet on sale at a lower all-in price, we'll refund double the difference. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it at Stories. So step into the big summer sale this week at Cherry Tree Road, Marton, Blackpool, Darwin Street, Blackburn, and Common Garden Street, Lancaster.
Come on.
Come in.
Step into Story Carpets.
Time for me to go. If you want to come and meet us, then on Sunday I'm doing It's Your Turn live from the Pleasure Beach in Blackpool on the Phillips Roadshow. Mike Vitty's with you next. Not a completely new voice, doing his second programme on Red Rose Radio. And if you want to join him, stay with him till 6. I'll see you on Sunday at 11 or on Monday at 10 doing all this nonsense again. Till then, ta-ra.
The 2 o'clock news, this is Mike Carson. Labour frontbench spokesman and former seaman John Prescott is criticising yesterday's findings by the Zeebrugge disaster inquiry, saying the ferry's crewmen are being made scapegoats for the people in charge of Townsend Torreson. An inquiry cancelled the certificates of the captain and the first officer and left the fate of assistant boatswain Mark Stanley in the hands of the ferry company. But chairman of Townsend Torreson, Peter Ford, isn't saying if there'll be any action taken against the management or crew of the vessel.
I'm sure you'll appreciate that I cannot comment on any disciplinary procedures, which is an internal matter for the company. That virtually all the people in the top management of the company are different to what they were before the accident occurred. Many of them retired, many of them left in any case during the course of the takeover that took place just before the accident.
The government is bringing in measures to make roll-on, roll-off ferries safer. Transport Secretary Paul Channon says indicator lights showing whether the bow doors are closed, closed-circuit TV and emergency lighting units will be made compulsory on all ferries using British ports. Armed robbers held a 3-year-old girl at gunpoint during a robbery in a greengrocer's shop at Belfast. 2 gunmen raided the store in Woodvale Road and held a gun to the child's head before escaping with an undisclosed amount of money in the store owner's car. Southerners are being bribed to visit the northeast of England in an original attempt to bridge the north-south divide. Among those to get cut-price holidays in Geordieland are people who can spot Andy Capp lookalikes. Here's Duncan Wood.
Tourists could see their bills cut by a third if they keep their eyes open during a 3-day stay in the region. For one, hotel chain will knock pounds off the price of the holiday if their guests spot anyone who looks remotely like Andy Capp, fail to understand the Geordie accent, find the beers too strong, and discover the only meal being served for lunch is pie and chips. The 12 hotels taking part in the scheme hope the reductions will dispel many of the myths surrounding the northeast. Duncan Wood for IRN in Geordieland.
Independent Radio News.
The window on the weather, well, it's going to be rather dry today. It's expected all over the whole of Lancashire. Although it may be cloudy, sunny intervals should occur. Temperatures a little colder than, they're a little colder than this time of the year. 16 degrees centigrade, 61 Fahrenheit.
Music and chat through the night with Mike Vitti on Red Rose Radio.
3 minutes past 2 and a very good morning to you. Mike Vitti sitting in for Ian Calvert today as well. I wonder what we've got lined up this afternoon or even this morning. I'm not quite sure yet. But as soon as we get it all together, I'll let you know.